Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're over on our test account and the patch finally came up on a Sunday morning, guys, which means we do have our new Hypogen hero. So here he is, Canisa and Ruke. Very cool looking. You can see, guys, there is a snake as the tail, making the three-part hero as a chimera, with a K, I guess, chimera. So we're going to run through his skills and abilities, see exactly what he's about. He's very cool looking. Interesting enough, guys, he's a tank. Now that gives me a little bit of reserve when you look at the tanking for Celestials and Hypogens. A majority of them are not really used very much when you look at Orthos, when you look at Titus, when you look at Mizoth, when you look at a lot of, again, the different tanking classes. Don't really seem to see much play within AFK Arena, but I'm hoping that he is going to be different. So Lightning Unlock is his passive ability. So the ultimate ability is passive. Canisa and Ruke launch normal attacks respectively. When damage dealt, they jump to where enemies are the densest and each inflicts damage equal to 250 and 310% of their respective attack rating on enemies. Enemies hit by both attacks will suffer a chain effect for 12 seconds. This will distribute 30% of the direct damage they receive evenly among the chain enemies. The distribution chain will not exceed 430%. And then damage value does go up and then distributes 35% of the direct damage they receive evenly among the chain enemies. This is going to be interesting because if they're jumping to where the enemies are the most densest, this could be a play right on the 5-hole where you're literally putting everyone together. Could work pretty well with Skarath. I'm thinking about formations here. If you could put them together, literally stack everybody, this could be a pretty good ability. Howling Fury. Let out a howl that knocks back surrounding enemies, dealing 280% of the attack rating and stunning them for 2 seconds. Now we have a crowd control in here. You can see level 4 takes it to 3 seconds. Meanwhile, they get a shield that lasts for 8 seconds with shield value equal to 25% of the max health, up to 35% at level 3. So now they have a crowd control aspect in there, definitely like that. And then the wound reversal. At the beginning of battle, the max health drops by 30%. We've seen that with some heroes. On receiving their first fatal damage, they will be immune to all damage and control effects for 2.5 seconds, restore their health, their full health, and increase their max health by 30%. They will also buff physical resistance by 10 points or magic resistance by 20, according to the proportions of the value of damage previously suffered. That's cool. So it's going to be either or. If they're taking a lot of physical damage, it seems like that's what it's going to buff. If they're taking a lot of magic damage, it seems like that is what they're going to be taking as well. Immunity goes to 3.5 seconds. This really talks about the viability of the hero because, again, if a tank hero, just like a warrior, if they do not have that immunity factor, it doesn't work. Guys, they absolutely get destroyed if they don't have that immunity. But this means that he cannot be bursted down, similar to what we see with other heroes that gain this immunity factor. They're not a solid burst squish down target, which I definitely like. And then increases the attack and defense rating by 2.5 up to 45% per second until they receive the first fatal damage. Wow. So they're going to get up to a attack and defense by 2.5 up to 45% per second. So 2.5 is going to be the attack and the defense rating buff up to 45%. Before they receive their first fatal damage until the end of battle. So this, as long as they don't take fatal damage, it looks like this is going to stay in effect. Once they take the fatal damage, this might go away, but that will stay there until they receive the first fatal damage, and then that will be gone. Last one, the Cage of Fire. Forges a flaming cage around themselves that lasts up to 7 seconds. Every 1 second they inflict damage and reduce their defensive rating by 6% up to 18% for 3 seconds. Pretty decent reduction. I'm just thinking of the heroes that we currently use for defense reduction. Enemies moving to the edge of the cage are immediately struck back to the center and stunned. So now it has a crowd control effect. Drags nearby enemies into the cage and reduces enemy defense rating by 12% up to 36% for 3 seconds. So again, this again kind of goes into stacking all the enemies. So if you can stack everyone together, it seems like this is going to be a pretty good a pretty good method. Let's look at the signature item, guys. The Avenging Chain. The skill reduces 15% of damage received by the hero or enemies within the cage of fire or suffering from a chain effect. The amount of the damage distribution remains unchanged. And then right here, received direct damage evenly among chained enemies. So when you have enemies chained together, they're going to be taking more damage, with each absorbing at least 40% of the damage. Skill reduces 30% of the damage they receive. That's a pretty decent damage reduction. And Hollow Fury and Cage Fire also inflict chain effects on enemies, but each skill can only chain up to one enemy at once. So overall, guys, that's going to be a pretty decent, I think. We're going to have to see exactly how he works. Heals himself for 35% of the attack damage he caused, but not exceeding 300% of the attack rating. Each attack by Canisa reduces a hit enemy's energy by 160 points. Now he has an energy reduction. Wow. So if he has an energy reduction in there, guys, again, stacking the enemies together would be a pretty cool effect. Let's check out the trial, guys. I want to see what he is about and what he looks like. Let's slow this down. So there he is, guys. He's got his shield up. Wow, that is a pretty big flame ring right there. There's the ult. Drug him right in. Again, it seems when it comes to that kind of crowd control aspect, it seems like he's going to be decent. But being a tank, again, I'm a little hesitant just because of that tanking aspect. But there he brings everyone together. It's almost like a mini 5-pull. But again, it kind of reminds me of like Queen's ability or Scrath's ultimate ability, something of that nature, where he's kind of bringing everyone together. So let's see if we have it in here. We have Scrath that will bring it together. Do some mitigation in here. I'm going to try this, try to pull everyone together, see if they can pull them together. Brampton could probably do an okay job. We have crowd control there. Let's just see what he can do. Boom, so they move them together, and that's what I'm hoping is pulling everyone together, which he pretty much did. Again, guys, remember, he's a tank. So between Scrath, between Canisa, it seems like they can pull everyone together. And that's what I was hoping. 4.47, 3.6, 3.12. So overall, guys, doing some pretty decent damage there. But that looks overall pretty cool. Interesting to see he's going to be a tank. Issues that I have, kind of it seems like he's going to work. It might be niche at best with a couple different places, but I could see him again working in the 5-pull. But essentially, are you just replacing another hero that you have with a new hero that you have to pay to build? With him being a tank, again, I'm a little bit hesitant. I do like the immunity factor that he has in there, but it's going to be a little while to see exactly what he's going to bring. All right, guys, so that'll do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and as always, thank you guys for watching.